He did that. I do not have anything to show but my words. Now what I'm thinking is that if I get 2-3 people joining me to say, oh, this same man did the same thing, then at least we are getting somewhere. But I'm saying to people who now are going through it in this age of social media, in this age where he says there are tricks that you can use to get these people to speak out, because we know that sexual harassment exists both in showbiz and even beyond. But people are afraid to speak about it, and it is because society itself comes back to mock you. I told you, after posting that video, some of the comments I read are like, whoa, even from women. And I'm like, imagine it was your sister going through this phase. Would you think it's that funny? Would you make mockery of them? So I think it's society itself. I had somebody telling me also on my page that, have you thought about the family of the person? Then I said, did the person think of my family? Yes. You know, so I think it's society itself trying to shut us up. And so even me, I said to myself, was it worth talking about? You know, after the reactions I saw, I've been asking myself, was it worth talking about? But I realized that somebody also took it from another level. I saw Karima also take it from a different level. So I said, okay, if we get 10 people talking about it, at least we are encouraging somebody that it's not the way to go. My point is, it is not the way to go. You might not have it working for you like I had it, you know. I didn't get it in 2004. I didn't get to feature in the movie in 2005 till 2007 or 8 or so, where Van Vika featured me in the movie, and I got another one in 2010. But at that time, I'd lost hope. It felt to me like everybody else I saw on the screen was doing something.
And that's what's happening.
You see, and so it becomes difficult when you're even telling people around you that you're doing showbiz, because already
there's that stigma attached to it.
And
it's like that with me as well, because like I said, it's happening because a lot of people will even DM you and say, Auntie, so did you have to sleep with someone? Or I've heard you're sleeping with this person before you can,
I've heard that about myself. I've slept with producers. That's why I've gotten jobs so easily. And I'm like, what?
But in the acting industry, like Miss G said, did you have producers approach you and say that before I give you a role?
Thank God I didn't. I don't know. For me, honestly speaking, I've never had any producer or director saying, Efia, give me this before I give this to you. But I've heard people saying that, yo, like, why do they do this? I met one lady, I forgot her name. She's light skinned. She said she stopped acting because this was happening to her.
They were asking her
they were asking her to have, you know, sexual things before she got a script.
But what is it about men? Nana and Roland, we need to understand it.
Wait,
it's not ambush, because I'm going to ask. I asked you if you have been sexually harassed. What is it about men that makes them, some men, makes it easy for them to ask a woman that I want sex before? Some people have blamed women and the way they dress and their body language and stuff.
You can't say because of women.
But
you
from a
can't
man's
necessarily
point of
just
view,
say no. It's
no,
I'm
even from a woman's point of view, I think that
you think that a way a woman dresses?
No. We're talking about sexual harassment.
No, but
the question is, what makes it easy for the men
to just say that?
Well, before even the men jump in, I think it's just because it's a man's world and they think that they've got power, and I do not blame them.
No, but we're turning things around. Why don't you agree?
It's a man's world.
It's a man's world.
It's not.
Wherever they got it from, women have been marginalized, in time immemorial.
It is not true. Let me tell you. See, this thing, I've said it on various platforms. You see, women, they talk. You get me? Wait, 1 minute. Women, they talk. So naturally, the slightest thing you do to a woman, she speaks about it.
Really?
Do you know the number of men who are harassed every single day?
Do you know?
I'm telling you something. I'm a living testimony.
Okay, tell us.
What did they do? You know, they be small, but sometimes, you know, they be.
So men like it, but what happened to you?
No, you don't like it. You don't necessarily like it.
But he just said it that they enjoy it.
Growing up, some women too, they like them. Maybe normal. Sometimes then
I don't think that any woman who's been sexually harassed.
But I'm telling you something. Men naturally don't speak. Let me give you a perfect example. If Roland say he break up with a girl and he comes to tell me, I go laugh him.
Why?
Say, but you if you did make somebody can take your girl, I go laugh you. But when she comes to tell you, oh, my boyfriend left me, you would sympathize with her. So it's easy for ladies to come out with their stuff, but men, we don't talk.
No, but even
so it makes it seem as if women are the only people who are being harassed.
And you don't talk because?
Look, we are harassed
But why don't you talk to
them?
Because maybe the woman is in a position of power to, as it is, marginalize you, or you may not be.
No.
They don't believe
the lady knows you are entering
when you come out with that story.
People don't believe women because they don't believe men instead. No, I think
so. You can imagine Nana with all his muscles and all that, come to say that he was sexually harassed.
You laugh.
People like, okay.
So that why men do not talk?
Are you all right?
That means you're not taking it serious upon yourself. If you really feel like you were sexually harassed,
you are saying that people don't believe you. It's two different things.
Who have been beaten and harassed by their wives.
So what do?
You go to the next level.
Which is going to the police.
Yes.
And then come and
the police will laugh you.
Of course.
No, but
the police will laugh you.
It goes beyond us discussing it here. I think it's a whole cultural issue.
To some extent, I agree with you, because even if we women are finding it hard for people to believe us, how much more men? But it doesn't stop us from talking. My problem is that it is the same men who come to mock us when we talk about it and make it look like some men make it look like it's become normal. And so, like Oprah's speech said, because somebody thinks that I have kids to feed, I have rent to pay, I would have to succumb. Because that is how I will get to feed.
Exactly. You're the driver of a world
woman
who is sexual.
You don't know what is going on
because the husband is not available.
You have no idea.
Jumping on
you have no idea.
Because you need to feed your family, you also should do it. Same thing.
No, but
and you know the painful aspect is this. The painful aspect, you see, when a woman is the one harassing the guy, it's an order. When a man is harassing a lady, it's like, trying to.
No.
I'm telling you, most of the time,
in workplaces, a lot of women have had to succumb some way, somehow, because they didn't have a choice. Either I agree to it or I get sacked.
You don't get what I'm saying. What I mean when I say it's an order, let me give you an example. I know what I'm saying.
I don't agree with you because I can also give you an example.
One second. Let me just drop my example and then you drop yours. It's an order. Hello, where are you? Come to my house now.
Not all women do that. Some women still play around.
Majority of women.
There are even bosses who say that come to my office now. And they insist
you don't get
on
what I'm saying.
giving in to whatever it is
I
they
agree.
want.
But that one will be one or two men where they do so.
No.
Most of the men they try call you, then go down with you, go outside and stuff like. When a lady is dealing with you,
you are the ladies.
You don't know what you are talking about.
It's a different ball game. It's like call and response.
You have no idea.
You have to do it. I mean, for a woman, if you try, you drop hints, and maybe if the person is not that smart, she may lead you on, so you get encouraged that okay. Maybe she likes it. Maybe she doesn't like it. Okay, so you try one and two, and you try other things. You are being nice, but when it comes to the men, what's that? You need me to do this.
You don't know.
I don't think men are bold enough to look men in the face and tell them no. Unlike the men,
it's not that easy.
Who just look at you.
It's not that easy. I said this during an interview some time back in 2017 that I also faced it when I finished Miss Malika. This man said that, well, I'm going to help you, but we have to finish in bed before. Who was I to get up and say, I'm sorry, I'm not I was young, I was scared. So instead of just, being disrespectful, because I didn't want him to tag me, because I knew I was going to end up in the industry anyway, and I didn't want the bad name preceding me. So I just withdrew quietly. It wasn't that easy, because they would want to get whatever it is they want from you. And they work on your brain so much that you feel like if I don't give in, I may never amount to anything.
That's the thing. Yes. That's the thing. And then you begin to, and then when you also see people on television, they tell you, sometimes, what they tell you? They say, exactly. It's become like the norm. So you're asking yourself, is this what I really want to do? And if you don't take care, at a certain point, you're beginning to convince yourself that it is the only way.
So if you don't have a strong character, then it means that you're going to...
Because if this person has done it, and this person has done it.
Well, quickly though, we're going to activate the phone line so you can call in if you have something to share with us. You know what to do. The numbers will be on your screens right about now, so you can call in as well. You were going to say something.
Yes, also I want us to know that it's not only in show business. I want to share a story again because I've been reflecting on all the times that I feel that I've been harassed. I remember, because when you're a young girl growing up, it's easy. It's very, very easy. I remember my mom was so ill. We took her to a hospital. won't mention the name of the hospital. And at that time, I was now developing because my mom died in 2003. So you can see how many years ago I was talking about. And this doctor said, oh,
Yeah,
in his office, no, she's female, so she understands. And the doctor said, oh,
they check for breast cancer.
Can you imagine? And at that time, Bella, I wanted my mom to get well. I wasn't thinking about what he was doing. Attend to my mom. And so I'm thinking to myself, how many other young ladies would such a doctor have told that, oh, let me hold your relationship. Oh, don't you want your mother to get well?
Exactly.
So in other institutions, it happened when I was coming back from the corporate world to social biz. I remember very, very well one very respectable man. I met him at a function and I said, oh, I want to do radio, blah, 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 blah. Oh, come to my office. But I went to this man's office and he looked me in the face and said, people that I want to get down with, I don't give them jobs to. I will give you a job, say my friend's job, because I want to get down with you, and I don't give people like that jobs. And that was the last time I saw him. The next time I saw him, I was already working. I said, hello, sir, how are you doing?
It's not. Hold on. No. You hold on. Let me just speak to. I think it's Seth.
It's different from.
Hello.
From sexual harassment.
Hi. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you guys so much for what you discussing.
Thank you. What do you have to say?
Yeah, like our brother there was saying, when it comes to women, it's more intense than men. I have been in that position before where a woman just saw me and said he likes me, and it has been it was a dilemma for me. It's more intense than what you people see. But since women can talk and can open up and share with people, so you guys think you are being harassed more than the guys. So, but I tell you, it's something that is happening.
Are we looking at the intensity of it, or are we looking at numbers? Is it about the number of women, as against men?
As in intensity. Okay. The number, for the number, men are the most, but for the intensity, women is to the peak.
So how did you, pull yourself away from her?
Yeah, I had to travel out for some time. I mean, leave where I was staying, leave everything I was doing, and go out for some time. And I realized when I came back, she was not. And
what?
I'm 30 years and she's over 60.
Wow. What if you didn't have the chance to travel, and maybe at that point there was nothing else you could do but to give in? Would you have?
Actually, I didn't have nothing to do.
Okay.
I didn't have nothing to do.
So all right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Ernest as well from Accra. Okay, no. You were going to say something.
I was going to ask if he fell victim to.
No, he said he traveled.
He said he traveled, so that's how. And besides, even if he didn't travel.
Nana doesn't believe him.
Slightly.
Do you think he gave in?
Well, maybe.
He need the money.
As somebody who studied psychology a little bit.
No, as somebody who knows.
Let me ask you this though. So you're home. Your little sister comes to your older sister, whichever way, says that I went for this audition, or I'm in class and my lecturer keeps failing me, and he says the only time he's going to make me pass is if I give in to his sexual demands. What are you going to do?
I straight away I march here to the police station, okay, and I know they will ask for evidence, and then we'll start plotting to let the man fall into it straight.
That's it.
Because I mean,
you see, I think it's not as easy as you say.
No, for her to come out and say it means it's happened for a number of times.
But she told you because she trusts you. You know, the other problem as well is women can't necessarily go out there and tell everybody.
Yeah,
they can only tell people they trust in someone that she trusts. Because at the end of the day, they'll come and say, "Oh, the way they fear someone, they So then at the end of the day, the person probably just pays some small amount of money and says, "I'm sorry," and then that's it. And he'll still go on and do it because he's used to paying his way out.
And I'm wondering, sorry, but I'm wondering how many, law enforcement officials will be ready to say, okay, let's plot with you, and then blah 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 blah. I'm just wondering because there are lots of things people.
There's a legal counsel. They do
but challenging for beat-up. That's all. That's organized beat-up.
No, but that's violence. No, that's violence. And violence on TV. It's annoying, yes, but
Charlie.
There are other ways to deal with it.
There
are other ways to deal with it.
No. Something they both.
Anyway, I have Ebenezer from Akosobo. Hello, Ebenezer. Hello? Hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. What do you have to say?
Please, I want to say a little bit something about what the gentlemen are saying on the platform.
Okay. I'm listening.
Usually, the men are really harassed. Just that they don't come out to say.
Why?
You know, I've listened to a lady who was talking about a friend that is working in the showbiz.
Yeah.
And the director is a woman. And this guy needs this contract.
Okay.
The director harassed the guy, you know, in terms of sleeping with the guy.
And what did he do?
He did it.
He slept with her?
Yes.
Did he get the role after?
He did. He got it.
But was he able to sustain that career?
Sure. He's into the business now.
He's into the business of what? As in, of acting or okay, all right. Hello. Interesting, right? And this is sad. It's funny how it's mostly the men that are calling. I hope that we can get a woman to call and tell her story. Now let me read this. Let me read this. I'm not going to mention her name, but she sent me a DM on Instagram, and she says, my experience was awful. I was going to register to be a photo model with an agency located in Dansoman. When I got there, I was interviewed. There were two of us. Now, the other one got interviewed and left, and I was told to relax for a while. Then the man came closer to me and asked me to sit on his laps. I refused, and he held my hand and dragged me towards him. I was trying to let go, but he was bigger and stronger than I was. He started pressing my boobs and then my butt. I tried shouting, and he covered my mouth partially and tried touching me down there, and I screamed. Now, the other guy who had left knocked on the door and came inside, and this man warned me not to say a word. I was so scared. So the moment the door was open, I rushed out and took a taxi home. I'll never recommend that agency to anyone. And info from sources.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, listen. She did mention it, but I'd rather not mention
because
say on air.
Because like I'm saying evidence. It's your word against, and I was told by a legal brain that the issue of sexual harassment is what is very, very difficult to win in court. He says you're going to be asked evidence, and you might fall short at a certain point.
Exactly.
Because this is your word. But if you have text messages, if you have interactions and things like that, then it's easier.
Yes.
It's like you are telling me, I said I didn't do it.
But this is different.
You did it. I didn't do it.
You've kept the person's name.
But at this point, she can only tell you about the agency, but she cannot tell you. She can't show you what happened.
We all know.
So that brings me to my next question: is Ghana ready for these kind of things?
Oh, Ghana has been ready.
There has to be a starting point.
Come on, man.
How do we start? I don't think we are. From my experience, what I went through after posting that video, asking people to name and shame, having people to ask me questions, I'm like,
do you know what you've done to other people who want to do the same?
Sometimes a lot of people.
I'll tell you for a fact that people in this business called me or have called me to say, oh, is this Asimesi? I said, no. Is this person? Said, this person too does that. So I said, then use your platform to also speak out. Till date, I haven't heard anybody. They'll say, oh, if you have anything you want to talk about it, let's know. We'll talk about it. But I realized that if I fall for it, everybody will be against me.
Yes. True. Hold on. I have a caller. Princess from McCarthy. Hi, Princess. Princess, can you hear me?
Yes.
Do you have an experience to share?
Yes, I want to contribute to the program.
Okay, we're listening.
Yes, I have been a victim of sexual harassment like several times.
What happened? Can you recount one of them?
Yeah, one was my stepfather. Yeah, and because when it happened, like my mom was out of town.
You said what, your brother?
No, my stepfather. Yeah.
Stepfather, okay.
And, yeah, my mom was out of town, and that time our house was under construction, so we were both sleeping in the same room. And so, like, he had an accident, so, like, it affected his leg. So one after I was just sleeping, like, I was in high school. Like, that was in 2007, we were on vacation. So I was just lying in the bed, like, together with him, not so close though, but... And I realized he was touching me. And then when I realized, like, I asked him what he was doing, and he was like, he went to have sex with me. I was like, no, like, he can't do that. So he was, like, threatening me and all that. So I went out. And then when my mom came, I told her.
Wait, like, you went out that evening?
It was not evening, it was in the afternoon.
Okay, so you stepped out.
Yes. So when I stepped out, and I was outside for the whole day. And when my mom came, I told her.
What did she do?
She didn't do anything. She told me that, like, can I, like, justify what I said? I was like, yes. Like, since then, you were not so cool. Like, it was always getting on my nerves because I reported it to my mom and all that. And the other one, she was in high school. I went to visit my friend, and she was not around. So I went to her brother's room, and I was waiting for her. And this guy almost raped me, like,
wow.
He did me naked, like, totally naked. I was screaming, and everybody, like, the neighbors came. And when he came, and I said I wanted to report to the police, and they said, when I report to the police, they're going to ask me what I was doing in the guy's room in the first place. So I should just keep quiet and go home.
Yeah.
So I went home without reporting it to the police. Yeah, wow. So these things happen to ladies, like, almost all the time, but you don't get to talk about it. So when you go to the police station, they'll ask you, then I want them who compared them on them who, you know. And so these things, we really need to talk about it, and ladies, we really need help.
Definitely. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm glad that you know, nothing bad happened to you, and I hope you can find you know, a voice eventually. We've started with this show, and we hope that a lot more people can speak. This is a late afternoon show. We'll be right back. Send us messages on social media at GH1TV, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'll be back.